DeSantis. Do you have a second for Miami?
Oh, we're having a great time making the case to Iowans. It's good to see you up here.
Thanks, Jim. We'll see you at the next one.
CBS News Miami is in Iowa tonight. Florida's First Lady Casey DeSantis is campaigning for the governor, and that's ahead of next month's Iowa caucus. Voters there will be the first in the country to make their wishes known for president.
CBS News Miami's Jim DeFede traveled to Iowa this week to find out what voters there are thinking. He is live tonight in Des Moines. And Jim, you attended some Casey DeSantis events today. There was some controversy about comments she made there recently, as I'm sure you well know. What did you hear today about her visit there?
So these events were closed to the press, but we had a chance to be able to talk to some of the folks that she met with. These are small groups. This is really the heart of Iowa voters and the Iowa caucus is the candidates getting out and meeting with small groups of voters. And one of the interesting things is when you talk to voters out here in Iowa, it's not a question of if they've met the candidates, it's how often have they met the candidates. And that was certainly the case for some of the folks we spoke to. Here are two people, a couple who were there for Casey DeSantis, one of Casey DeSantis' events that we sat down with afterwards.
It's kind of the great advantage of living in central Iowa. You have the opportunity to go up and meet them personally and have personal discussions with them, which is much more informative than watching the television ads, which are well produced, but they don't really give you a true indication of the person.
What was your impression? Let me ask you, what was your impression of Casey today?
She speaks very, very well. She addressed a lot of issues. One of the questions that she spent a lot of time on was border security, which is like everyone is extremely concerned how that's going to be addressed.
I've talked to some people who think that she's actually his best weapon out here.
I think so. I think in a way she's more can speak better off the cuff in a way than he does. I mean, they're a great team.
Now, after that event in Grimes, Iowa, they came out and there was a table full of women from Iowa State University, an alumni group, an older group of women who Casey DeSantis did a little schmoozing with here in the Buckeye State. And we had a chance to sit down with one of the 86-year-old women who were part of that group. And she said initially she wasn't going to tell me who she was planning on voting for, but then decided to let me know that she was in fact going to caucus for Ron DeSantis. Here's what she had to say.
All I know is I'm 86 years old, and I don't think we ever had a better economy than we had under Trump. And I told people I don't want him for my best friend, but I wanted him for my president at that time. He did a good job for us. Right now I'm worried that we're going to end up in a war the way things are going. I didn't have that concern then. The economy was better. Gas was cheaper. We had gas, too. Don't have to worry about EVs and all of that stuff that I don't like.
Well, if Donald Trump did such a great job for the economy when he was president, why not caucus for him this time?
Because I'm afraid that he probably would not get elected. I think DeSantis might have a better chance.
Now, that is absolutely what the DeSantis campaign is hoping for, is that message that he's more electable breaks through. But, as you know, polling here does not suggest very favorable conditions for DeSantis.
Yeah, and Jim, speaking to that right now, the polls we know are not in DeSantis's favor. So how is that playing with voters in Iowa?
It's interesting because in speaking to that woman, she said she fully expects Donald Trump to be the nominee, but yet she feels the need to vote for DeSantis. Now, one of the things that we've learned in talking to a number of people on the ground, including evangelical pastors and others, is that Iowans do tend to decide late. That in other words, that they'll make up their minds in these final 3 or 4 weeks, which is why we wanted to be out here now. The other thing, too, is if you talk to Trump supporters, their number 2 choice is Ron DeSantis. And so if for some reason, it hasn't happened so far, but if for some reason Trump falters, DeSantis is hoping he's there. But like you said, he's 32 points behind in the latest Des Moines Register poll. That doesn't look good. There isn't a lot of time left. But, it's Iowa, and things always shake up at the end.
Absolutely. Great stuff, Jim, tonight from Des Moines, Iowa. We look forward to hearing more from you tonight at 11.
Thanks, Jim. And we hope you will join us Thursday for a CBS News Miami special, Voters Decide. Join Jim DeFede in Iowa and Elliot Rodriguez with all of the big news from the campaign trail. That is Thursday at 7:30, only on the CBS News Miami stream. Find it on the CBS News app, cbsmiami.com, Pluto TV, or your favorite streaming platform.